How's it feel to be back in a Panther uniform?
Feel great. Feel great. Like I said before, this organization, they gave me the opportunity to play at the next level. They drafted me a long time ago, and to bring me back, it was a no-brainer for me to make the decision to come back. I'm back in Spartanburg where it get hot instead of being in the cold of Minnesota.
Captain, was part of the reason they brought you back, do you feel, to kind of be a mentor because of the young guys that they brought aboard through the draft last year?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. Most definitely. On my visit, when I was talking to the coaches, that was they brought me back for, to be a mentor, to go out there and just compete at the nickel position, play at a high level, and bring the young guys along. Let them know competition is the key, man, and each and every day at practice. You got to start at practice. They know I practice pretty hard. I feel like if you practice well, you play well. So just to bring me back and just to teach those young guys the ropes.
What happened with the hamstring?
Training. I was training, getting ready for training camp. Had to drop a couple pounds. Just training. It happened probably about almost 2 weeks ago. Just training, getting prepared to come here. So I went home to Mobile, Alabama, where it get hot, so I can get used to it, and kind of tweaked it a little bit. So they're just trying to take it slow. I ran the conditioning test, did well, so I thought I was going to be able to practice, but they want to just gradually get me in and try to take it slow, not make it an ongoing issue, because hamstrings can be tricky, and I know that. So just trying to walk me in slowly and get ready to roll.
Were you running or lifting when you tweaked?
Actually was running. I was running, getting ready for my conditioning test. My trainer back at home, he actually told me, we done for the day. I was like, nah, I feel good, man. Let's do something extra. Thinking I'm still young, thinking I'm still 21, 22 years old. Nah, I'm not that young no more. So that's how I did it. But like I said, I feel fine.
Did you make weight?
Yeah, I definitely made weight. Yeah, I made it real well. Almost 11, 12 pounds under, So I definitely made my weight. I was excited about that. So, it just happened. It's a process. I got to take care of my body better, I guess, and got to listen to your trainer when he say you're done.
Cap, you mentioned not being as young as you used to be. There's a lot of guys here that they brought in that have been around the league for a while, and people talk about windows and going for it. Do you sense that this is where this team is at, that they're at a point where, they're going for it in terms of trying to win a Super Bowl?
Oh, yeah, most definitely. You look at, what we did this offseason, bringing a guy like myself, Pep, back, signing Khalil, and, keeping these pieces together, going in the draft, getting Christian McCaffrey, Curtis Samuels, and things like that. We're trying to win now. The window is probably closing on some athletes, but at the same time, you can tell with the organization that they want to win now. They're 2 years removed from the Super Bowl, and they want to get back and they want to win it. So you can tell by some of the off-season moves that we made, and at the same time, man, this team was a great team already. They were just missing a couple pieces, last year. So, it's hard to win in the NFL with two rookie corners. And they went out there, they competed well. This year I'm expecting big things from those guys. They're growing up this year too. If you look at the things that they're doing from OTAs and practicing and training camp this year, they saying it's like night and day. They more confident in themselves, and they going out there, like I said, they competing at a very high level. Even James out there with, one hand out there still making plays. So I'm expecting big things for these two rookie corners that we had last year going into year two.
Captain, I know you followed the team closely, even though you were in Minnesota last year, and you definitely saw what the secondary went through. From your perspective, what happened to them last year?
It's tough to start two rookie corners in the NFL. Being the quarterbacks like that we have in the NFL, like the Tom Brady's and the Aaron Rodgers, they licking their chops when they play you. They licking their chops like, man, they got two rookie guys out there. I'm going to welcome to the NFL. So it's definitely tough. It's a longer season. You never know when those guys hit their rookie wall. I know my rookie year around October, I was like, man, when is the season going to be over? So you never know. So it's a long season for those guys. Like I said, they did a great job last year at the same time, but it's tough. It's definitely tough, man, especially playing the cornerback position where you get put on the island sometimes by yourself. And your coaches, they have to adjust to your game. Sometimes they probably 3rd and 2. They didn't want to play man-to-man coverage because they knew they had two rookie guys out there. They're probably a little winded. So they had to probably adjust their game a little bit. So year two would definitely be better for those guys.
And it sounded like there was a lot of responsibility in the locker room on Kurt Coleman. Did he talk to you about that at all?
Oh, yeah, it's definitely a lot, man. He was the leader back there. He was the old guy. Now he's not the old guy no more. You got me and Mike. But he definitely had, some big shoulders to lean on last year. He was the guy, the fallback guy. Everybody was like, well, Kurt Coleman is back there, so they should be okay. But that's tough, him being the safety. He had to play a different position last year. So it definitely was tough on him. But at the same time, man, like I said, they brought guys like me and Mike back into the room to, compete and help those young guys along.
That secondary back in 2013, though, is you were bringing in some young guys with a lot of.
Yeah, we was a lot of no-game guys, no-name guys. Y'all always say that, man. Who is that in their secondary? But we still finished, like top 5 in the NFL in defense. We had guys back then, man, just wanted to compete and just go out there and prove a point. That we were somebody. You had guys like me, Mike Mitchell, Dre Floyd, Melvin White. That was a secondary that nobody knew of. I remember playing on Monday Night Football one time. John Gruden was like, yeah, they secondary is a no-name group, but they go out there, they play hard. And I was like, remember seeing that clip, and I was like, okay, well, before I leave tonight, they're going to know my name. So I used to go out there. That's how I just used it for motivation. So with this group we got, though, we got a lot of talented guys, especially the young guys. You look at James, like I said, man, this guy right here can be the real deal. He definitely can be the real deal. He's big. He's physical, and he know how to cover. He can go get that ball out the air. So I'm expecting big things out of him this year.
Captain, now that Cam's back, how eager are you to compete with him, and what's it like talking with him again during practice?
Oh, man, it's exciting. It's exciting. Doing OTAs, he didn't do much, and he was still doing all that talking. I was like, man, for a guy that's not practicing, you're doing a lot of talking. But that's Cam. That's Cam. He liked to compete. He liked to have fun. And just to have him back on the field is a great presence for us. We know he's going to bring it each and every day. We know he's going to compete. He's going to talk. We know that. And it brings out the best of this team. Bring out the best of, everybody on the defense side of the ball. This is a guy who won MVP a couple years ago, so we know he's the real deal. And just to go out there and compete against him each and every day it's a plus for us because we know he's the real deal, and we know we got to go out there and be on top of our game each and every day of practice.
After the heat and humidity, and he starts talking, how do you fine line between letting that roll off your shoulder?
It's all fun and games, man. It's football. It's football at the end of the day. We respect each other like men on and off the field. But at the end of the day, man, it's football. We know sometimes it can be heated. Sometimes I might not be having a good day, and he might be in my ear. But at the same time, you got to let that roll down, man, and move on. Because in the game, if something like that happen, you can't go out there and retaliate or get a penalty. Because I did that before, and Coach Rivera reminded me from time to time when we played the 49ers in the playoffs. Michael Crabtree kind of got in my head a little bit, and I headbutted him in a 15-yard penalty. I can't do that. I hurt my team. So you got to be aware of that. And so sometimes that trash talking is kind of good for the team to, let you know, man, you just got to go out there and kind of shut them up with your play.
What was your reaction 2 years ago watching from afar when you saw the Sports Center clip of him and Norman going in?
Wow. I couldn't believe it. I was like, man, what's going on there? But everybody who know Josh and know Cam, they both competitive guys. Josh is one of the best corners in this game. And, when he make a play, he's going to let you know. He's been like that since his rookie year. I was here when he was a young guy. He's been like that since he was a young guy. So he's just a guy that like to compete at a high level. And, our quarterback, Cam, he's the same way. He don't like losing that tie in his shoe. If you say, I can tie my shoe faster than you, he say, let's go. He's that type of guy. So we know when those guys got into it, I was like, wow, I can see why it happened because both of them is competitive guys.
Let me talk to you when you signed. You said you were going to try and bury the hatchet with Devin. Have you had a chance to do that yet?
You said what?
You said you were going to try and bury the hatchet with Devin or talk to him.
Oh yeah, man. I talked to him. We actually pretty cool. We pretty cool. Like I said, being a competitive. After the game, after we played, last year, I probably kind of still upset a little bit because I do feel like he can be a great receiver in this league. He's big, he's fast, he's physical. At the time I was just talking, just being a competitive guy. I was so happy that we won the game, and I was just being competitive, talk a little noise to my whole team.
Last question. Anything else?
Captain, do you embrace this leadership role that you have here?
Oh yeah, most definitely. My name is Captain, so yeah, I embrace it, man. I remember I used to be a young guy. I had guys like Chris Gamble, Richard Marshall, Chris Harris to bring me along. So now I'm the guy that everybody looking to in the room, and especially being the secondary guy and being the defensive back. You know, being a cornerback, you know, you got like Darryl and James and Zach, all those guys, they ask me questions, you know, Cap, man, how you play this, how you play that? So I embrace that role, and like I said, I just know I got to stay on top of my game. And that's the thing that helped me stay at the top. I got to stay at the top of my game and keep competing.